What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm bringing you guys a full in-depth review in Forza 5 of the Mercedes A45 AMG from the IGN car pack. Now, first off, we're going to go ahead and go straight into Forza Vista and walk around the car and show you guys everything that this little, basically, rocket has to offer. So, right off the bat, I do have a subtle design that I got off the storefront, which I think really accents the look of this car, and I think if you buy one of these, you definitely should get it in this design because it looks absolutely awesome. And also another really cool feature of this car is this is one of the is that it's one of the cars where you can actually open up the hood and take a look at this turbocharged 4-cylinder, which you can't really see much, but you can see that huge turbo, and that's what matters. I love how they put it right like center right in the middle, and I love that. I love that it's like the center of attention when you open the hood of this car, or well, bonnet if you're in Britain or in Europe. Now, onto the inside of this car, it's actually really cool. Let me actually close the door real quick. There we go. If I can get the thing over there. But it's very modern Mercedes. Reminds me a lot of the SLS AMG actually. The vent configuration is quite similar. So is the wheel and the small paddles. I kind of wish they'd make the paddles bigger. But I mean, even in the way they are, they're really nice paddles. They look nice, and I mean, they work. They're functional. So let's see how it sounds. Very nice sound. I mean, it revs to about 7,500 RPMs, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all, and it makes a nice sound too. It's kind of deep and throaty for a Turbo 4, which is actually cool. You kind of miss out on that in other Turbo 4-cylinder cars. So, without any more rambling on, I will see you guys at the test track. Alright guys, so I'm back, and as you can see, I've chosen to take this car to the Bernese Alps track, actually, to test it. Now, that might seem kind of like an odd choice, but actually, I feel like the Bernese Alps track is really nice because it's got a lot of wide-open sweepers, but it's also got some tight corners as well, and also some open straights, and it's a really nice, fun track to test out a car in. Now, right off the bat, you have huge acceleration from that all-wheel drive system, and also amazingly short gearing, which is actually really reminiscent of the Nissan GTR. It really kind of actually jumps out at me and kind of screams Nissan GTR. But the grip is phenomenal. You can get on the power on corner exit or even halfway through the corner, and it is perfectly stable. Now, the only thing is that, I mean, sometimes you get a little bit of understeer, but it's actually overshadowed by the oversteer, actually, that you get out of this all-wheel drive system. It's a very, it's actually, I would go so far as to say it's a tail-happy all-wheel drive system, and I don't know how they managed to do that, because this car actually started out in life as completely front-wheel drive, the Mercedes A-Class, but, oh god, we've got understeer. You know what, let's back it up. Let's just kind of back it up, because I wasn't really paying attention there. I wasn't really paying attention to actually driving, which I probably should have been paying attention to. I was paying attention more to talking. And I kind of fumbled that gear change, but whatever. We're getting used to the car. But, in fact, let me just show you guys how this thing will kick its tail out. If you flick it, it will come around on you. Now, you got to kind of watch it, though, because it does like to push mid-slide, which is a little bit, it could be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. It all depends on what you prefer, what you like, what you like as far as driving dynamics go. But the turn-in is really nice, though. The turn-in of this car and how it actually goes into the corner is really nice, and I really actually quite like it. Okay, whoo, I was like, that's a wall, and we're getting very close to it. I was like, we are uncomfortably close to this wall right now. Come on, into fifth. Over the jump. Not really jump, more like hump. But still, I don't know, it's a little small to be considered a jump. I mean, you can call it a jump if you're in something really fast, like, say a Viper or something. But, where you've got enough speed to jump up there. I mean, you do get a tiny bit of air in a car like this, but not enough to be considered like a huge jump or anything like that. But I will admit, this engine is actually nice and torquey. It's got power pretty much all over the rev range. However, while it does have the torque, it also it doesn't feel like it has that much turbo lag. Really, the turbo, they've done a really good job with the way the turbo is. Like, for example, let me just completely stop real quick, and let me just stop and go ahead and just do a slow acceleration for you guys, and you'll see the revs, they don't really ever like just shoot up. There's a really even power band. So let me actually show you guys how that works. And it stays, once you get going and you're really on it, it stays in boost. They've really done a great job with doing the gearing, setting up the gearing so that it always stays in boost, which is exactly what you want, and it's something I really like about the way this car feels and the way it drives too, because that means you're always going to be in boost and you're always going to have power. But even if you get outside the boost, it still does not take very long at all for this particular turbo to spool for you. It's not a laggy turbo at all. Come on. Here, like, for example, I'm going to do nope, there we go. I'm going to do a third gear roll. Roll at about 3,000, actually roll even slower, like 30 miles an hour, just over 2,000 RPMs. And I floor it, and there's a little bit, but once you get up to about, see, there was no, like, oh, we've hit 5,000 RPMs, and all of a sudden, we're all over the track, there's no, this car doesn't really surprise you all that much. It doesn't have, like, it doesn't have the sensation of a turbo kicking in real hard, or anything like a VTEC sensation, really, but it's very predictable, and it always does what you think it's going to do. It never comes out and bites you, which, I mean, that's a good thing, but, I mean, I know some people like the sensation of, of a turbo coming on and, like, crazy and kind of smashing you in the back, and that can be really fun, but it also isn't the most effective when you're trying to either set a lap time or when you're racing, for that matter. And I feel like this thing is going to be really good online and going to be really nice to drive actually in races, because you're going to have that reliable power. You're going to know that power is always going to come on when you want it to come on, and not when it feels like coming on. When you tell the power to come on, it's going to come on, and you're never going to have to, one, wait too long for it, and number two, you're never going to have to guess when it's going to come in. Like, oh, am I going to go sideways at 4,500 RPMs? Or am I going to go, am I going to get squirrely at 5,000 RPMs? There's none of that. There's no guessing, which is one of the reasons why I really like this car. And now let me show you guys how you can get it to go sideways, just with a flick. That's it. No e-brake at all. You can just get it to slide with a little flick. Like, one way, flick it back, and it'll slide. It's so easy in this car, and it's one of the few all-wheel drive cars, especially in this class, that can do that, and that allows you to do that, like, that actually trusts you enough to do that. The all-wheel drive system in this car, it doesn't baby you. It doesn't try to get in your way. I mean, if I want it to oversteer, it will oversteer. It doesn't tell me, it's not like, oh, are you sure? No, it just does it, and it just goes and allows me to get the car into a slide if that's what you want it to do. So that in itself is a really really nice thing about this car. Really, really nice feature, and goes excuse me. But yeah, it goes along with the characteristics of the predictability, because everything in this car is predictable. The steering is predictable. The braking inputs, the way, like I said, the all-wheel drive system, the turbo, the engine, everything is predictable. That's really the word for this car, is predictability, because once you just take a few laps in it, you kind of get into a rhythm with it. You really do, because, like I said before, it's so predictable and so willing to work with you and not against you. Now, by no means does that mean it's like not a challenge to drive, because it does offer some challenge, but what it does is it eliminates any frustration of the car trying to do, like, something that, like, it eliminates the car trying to have a mind of its own, and, oh, wow, level 50, sweet! But, it eliminates the car trying to have a mind of its own, and puts your mind into the car. And that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I hope you guys can kind of understand what I'm trying to get across to you with this point here. So if you guys enjoyed this review of the Mercedes A45 AMG, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you thought of it. And if you're new to my channel and want to see more reviews, test drives, drift builds, and a bunch of other stuff, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm bringing you guys my full in-depth review of the Mercedes... I've forgotten the name.